Night I had a dream, and in that dream MOHBAD, the musician who just died, appeared to me. So the setting was as if I was in the church I was born, St. Peter's Anglican Church, Ekpan, Warri, Delta State. So it was as though I was in that church. And then there's a place I used to play with my friends in the car park. And so MOHBAD came and stood there, just me and him. He was the only person around. I was dead and he appeared. And then this young man was crying. Oh God. He was crying and crying and crying, and he couldn't stop sobbing. Then he said to me, he said, I want to tell you some things, and please tell everyone. And I was listening to him. Then the first thing he said was, tell people that when they start making progress, they should not rush into building. So the statement didn't make sense to me. I was looking confused. Then he now tried to explain himself, and he said, tell people that when they start making progress, they should not show people they are building. Otherwise, they will turn it to abandoned project. And I was like, wow. Then he said, I wish I had somebody to talk to. So in my mind, I replied, I said, but you tried your best, you spoke out now. And he said, no, I spoke to thin air. I didn't have anybody to talk to. Then he said there was no mentor figure in my life. There was no role model in my life. And then he said, I wish I had a shoulder to lean on. The young man was crying and he said, I wish I had a shoulder to lean on. And the last thing he said to me was, tell people that I wish before fame I knew that I wish I knew before fame that when stardom comes, the people that come around as friends are not sincere. He said, I wish I knew that when stardom comes, the people who call you brother are not sincere. Then he said to me, Femi, I wish I knew you. And God have mercy. And then he was crying. He was crying and could not be sobbed. He kept crying and crying. Then he hugged me very tight. He said, I never had a friend. He hugged me very tight and he didn't want to leave me. I started feeling uncomfortable when he was holding my neck. He was hugging me very tight. I was feeling uncomfortable. And then suddenly something like a wind blew and separated me from MOHBAD. So the wind blew and separated me from him. And the space between us was very big. But where the wind blew him to was kind of like a dark place. The place was not bright. So he was moving from place to place. He was just going to and fro. He was very restless. And he was looking for a human body that he can enter. He was just going to and fro. He was very restless. And all he kept saying was, I need a friend. I need a friend. I need a friend. And then I woke up. Please, I beg you guys in the name of God. I beg you guys in the name of God. I would never do this for clout or for... If I didn't have this dream, God is my witness that I had this dream, right? I would never do this for clout. And I cannot claim to know the full... I cannot claim to know the full meaning of the whole dream. I cannot claim to know the full meaning of the whole dream. But you see, when people give themselves names,